right, good morning everyone. It's good to be here today with you. As the former chair of the Nevada Hispanic Legislative Caucus, it is an honor to be here to support Cortez Masto as Nevada's next senator. I'm thankful to have the chance to represent Nevada's Hispanic community in our state legislature, and I am confident that Catherine will be able to do the same as Nevada's next U.S. Senator. Far too long, partisan politics has taken precedent over solving the problems of hardworking Americans. You need a representative that will stay focused and has the emotional intelligence to work for stakeholders to get things done. It's time to put an end to the dysfunction and gridlock and send the right people to Washington. People like Catherine Cortez Masto. Catherine knows the issues that matter most, not only to Latinos, but to all Nevadans. She knows that we need a livable wage. We need to compensate women for equal work, to ensure young adults can pursue higher education without being saddled with debt, and to guarantee that every child has access to a world-class 21st century education regardless of where they live. She will fight to solve these problems and stand up against the bitter and hateful rhetoric that has infiltrated today's political narrative. We cannot afford to elect people who lack the moral strength to denounce those who repeatedly insult women and belittle immigrants. We must stand up against the hatred and the divisiveness and elect leaders to Washington that will bring us together, not apart. And that is why I am personally proud to be able to support Catherine Cortez Masto to be our next senator. Thank you, and now Assemblyman Nelson Araujo.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Irene Bustamante, and thank you for all the service that you've done on behalf of the Nevada Hispanic Legislative Caucus. I'm Assemblyman Nelson Araujo, and I am proud to serve as the Vice Chair of the Nevada Hispanic Legislative Caucus. And more importantly, I'm here today as a very strong supporter and here with a lot of pride because this is the first endorsement that the Nevada Hispanic Legislative Caucus rolls out, and it couldn't be for a better candidate. We are all here today because we know what is at stake in this election. Whether we have leaders like Catherine, who brings people together to solve problems, or politicians like Congressman Joe Heck, who votes with his party's leaders in Washington against Nevada's Latino community. Even worse, Congressman Heck and Sharon Engel have decided to support Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. Yeah, that's right. That's the same Donald Trump who has called undocumented Mexicans rapists and criminals. Trump's immigration plan would also mean deporting every undocumented immigrant in this country. This would tear thousands of Nevada families apart. We need leaders who will stand up to Donald Trump and his hateful rhetoric that demonizes immigrants, belittles women, and threatens the social fabric and morals upon which this country was founded. Congressman Heck and Sharon Engel have proven they are not that they care more about loyalty to the Republican Party than standing up for immigrant communities here in Nevada. Congressman Heck, Sharon Engel, and Donald Trump all would end DACA and DAPA and tear thousands of families apart. Their shared anti-immigrant agenda would force millions of undocumented workers to continue to live in the shadows. Unlike Congressman Joe Heck and Sharon Engel, Catherine Cortez Masto will stand up to the hateful and anti-immigrant policy supported by their party and its presumptive nominee, Donald Trump. We will fight to ensure that Catherine Cortez Masto is elected in November, because we know that she understands the issues that matter most to the Nevada Latino community and knows that as a country, there is far more that unites us than divides us. With that, I would like to introduce you to the person that started the Nevada Hispanic Legislative Caucus years ago, Senator Mo Dennis.
Thank you. When I founded this caucus 10 years ago, I was one of 3 Hispanics in the legislature. We were new, we were just getting going. Our dream was that people would know that their vote counted. A lot of people would tell us, oh, it doesn't really matter. But I know my first election I lost by 62 votes. And I would tell people if I just had, if some people more had showed up, I would have won that race. And then I ran again and won. And so we've seen those races that are close, so our folks now know that their vote really does count. And we also had a dream that our children would know that anything is possible if they worked hard, if they excelled. that they would know that the American dream is achievable to all of us, even if you are Latino. Today, we have tripled the number in our caucus. I was blessed to serve as the first Latino to serve as Senate Majority Leader in the history of Nevada. And we have members in our caucus that are well respected and serve in key leadership positions, not only in the Nevada legislature, but in some of the national organizations. We have come a long way, but as the old Carpenter song goes, we've only just begun. And now we have the opportunity to elect the first Latina in Nevada history to have served as the Nevada Attorney General, and would become the first Latina in American history to serve as a U.S. Senator. I'm honored to be standing here today with my fellow legislators to announce our support for Catherine and our commitment to sending her to Washington. She has spent her career solving problems that help all the people of Nevada, and she has helped with issues that are important to our community and the Hispanic community, like the notario fraud and other issues, consumer frauds, that she's been very helpful on. And we know she will bring these same skills that she's used here in Nevada to Washington. She knows us and shares a deep love and commitment to serve all of us. Please join me in welcoming the next senator from the great state of Nevada, Catherine Cortez Masto.
I am so honored. Thank you, Mo, for that kind introduction and for your years of service to the state of Nevada, and all of you. Thank you for everything that you've done in the legislature on behalf of so many people across this state. I am honored to have the Hispanic Legislative Caucus's endorsement in the first one this cycle, so thank you for that. It means a lot to me, and it means so much to so many more people across Nevada. Listen, we all know that this is a tough time and there's a lot at stake, and we've talked about that. But we also know the importance of working together to get things done. We've done that. Just last year, we've all put partisan differences aside, and all of you, had the courage to work with your colleagues across the aisle and pass historic legislation to ensure our state is providing our children with the best education possible. It is because of your leadership and the work with Republican Governor Brian Sandoval, who signed that bill into law, that we are fighting on behalf of our kids in the education system in this state. But you know what? What we saw that can be done here in the state of Nevada, we can do it with Democrats and Republicans in Washington, D.C. as well. We need to put our differences aside and start working together. Unfortunately, what we have seen, there are some politicians in Washington who are too focused on partisan bickering. We need leaders in Washington who will solve problems, not create them. That means we need leaders who are creating an economy that works for everyone, tearing down the barriers to the middle class, and passing comprehensive immigration reform. I know it's an issue that is important for all of us and is very personal for all of us. Listen, we've talked about this. My grandfather immigrated here from Chihuahua, Mexico. It was because of his courage and the hard work of my parents that my sister and I were the first in our family to graduate from college. And it is because of them I now have the chance to become the first Latina elected to the United States Senate. You know, but it's not about making history. It's about getting things done. And that means coming together to reform our nation's broken immigration system. The reform to our immigration system should honor our founding history as a nation of immigrants. It should provide a tough but fair path to citizenship for undocumented workers while bringing millions of them out of the shadows. It should protect our national security interests while honoring our history as a nation of immigrants. And we all know immigration reform will not only strengthen and grow our economy, but most importantly, it keeps thousands of families together. And that's what this is about. The thing is, this will only happen if we stop the partisan politics and dysfunction in Washington right now and actually work together to get things done. Unfortunately, one of my opponents, Congressman Heck, has been a part of the mess in Washington, D.C. He's voted with the Tea Party and the right-wing party 9 times out of 10. His Republican primary opponent, Sharon Angle, would do the same thing. And when it comes to immigration, it is near impossible to tell the difference between Congressman Heck, Sharon Angle, and Donald Trump. They all want to repeal birthright citizenship. They all oppose comprehensive immigration reform and would end DACA and DAPA, which would tear thousands of families apart. We need people in Washington who will stand up to Donald Trump and disavow the hateful, divisive rhetoric that demonizes immigrants. And we need people that are not afraid to say, stop the hate, stop the dialogue. And for me, that's what this is about as well. That's why it's critical that we make sure our voices are heard and we elect leaders that will fight for Nevada's hardworking men, women, and families, regardless of where they come. We have the opportunity to do that now in Washington, and that's why I will represent this great state as the next United States Senator. I cannot thank all of you so much for the endorsement today. I continue to look forward to working with all of you on behalf of our state and moving Nevada forward on so many issues that we care about, that we know the citizens and businesses here in Nevada care about. So thank you for being here today, and I so appreciate it. Thank you so much.